morning still. Thank you, Akram. Thank you for inviting me, and it's always a pleasure to be here at ICAT. You know, these design and engineering centers of excellence in the country, wherever you go in terms of ARAI, GARC, ornate tracks, I think always rekindles the whole, engineering, skill building initiatives that we keep talking about. And I think some of these facilities could actually become the biggest temples of skill education in this country, which is very important. Continuing from where my friend Tapan had just spoken about DLI, you know, if we have to do a DLI, we need a lot of manpower and design. You know, right from the early days of engineering initiative when I was in Maruti, you know, a lot of our engineering started only from being able to read engineering drawing rather than create an engineering drawing. And we've come a long distance, but we still have another long distance to go in terms of having designs done not only for the Indian market, for the global markets as well. Skilling plays a very important role, and somehow in this country skilling gets associated only with blue-collar workers. True, yes, it is required at the blue-collar worker level, but whether it's a blue or a grey or a white or whatever it is, you need skilling. And I think two great examples of two competing industries, I would say, to automobile in terms of talent acquisition, at least in this country, which is the IT sector and the telecom sector. And I think the engagement of these industries with academic institutions, learning spaces have been tremendous, and the results are for us to see in terms of the growth that these industries have made and are continuing to attract young talent much more than some of the other industries. I think automobile, personally, because I'm fairly always been very passionate about automobiles, so coming from me, I mean, one can always say you have a biased view, but I think it's the most global industry that we have in India because all the global brands are here. What we do here in India is all of global standards, whatever we do. Some of the things we don't do, so we can't talk about it. But whatever we do, especially if I talk about manufacturing, I think we manufacture to the global standards. Our exports is a testimony to that context. So if we decide to do the full range of services for this country, I think it can be done. But coming back to specifically to EVs, I think it gives us a new opportunity. You know, I see it, and I keep telling this, that for the IT industry, the Y2K happened as a new problem to be solved for the world, and IT industry in India boomed. We have an EV problem, or a cleaner tech. I would rather expand it to a cleaner energy solution for mobility problem that we need to solve today. EV, battery electric vehicle, happens to be one of the solutions that we are working here today. But India has a moment of Y2K for the automobile industry. And for that, we need hordes of youngsters coming into this industry and being excited about this industry, and opportunities like this where we can send the message across to the youngsters that this is an industry of the future, this is a place, technology of the future. And I think if you decide to get yourself skilled in that area and continue skilling and reskilling and upskilling yourself in that area, one can actually look forward to a great professional journey that one can look at. Quickly, at the end, I would want to highlight a few of our initiatives at ASDC. We, of course, have almost about 12 specific curriculum on electric vehicles that we have developed, which we are offering with partnership of various training centers, training locations, colleges, polytechnics, ITIs. we need greater adoption of that in terms of bringing fresh, skilled manpower into the system. And we would need a very, very wholehearted participation of all the major stakeholders, industry, government, both at the central level as well as at the state level. And that has been our endeavor to engage in conversations with the relevant stakeholders. The other big area that we see is in terms of reskilling and upskilling of existing manpower, especially when we talk about vehicle service related manpower in the EV sector, especially in the 2 and the 3-wheeler segment where we have a significant population already. And a lot of people have no clue as to how and where they could go should they have a problem with their vehicle, or should they have a challenge of operating the vehicle, not because of any problem of the vehicle, but because they are not aware of how this vehicle works. Okay. So there is a significant work to be done. We are already engaging through corporate partnerships, under CSR, through government partnerships, through government skilling programs, where we are trying to bring this upskilling program down to the ground mechanics, especially in the 2 and 3-wheeler segment to start with. Lastly, and which is most important, being the World Day for Safety and Health, I think EV brings in another dimension of safety into our whole automobile industry. So far, I think 2 large safety issues that we've been trying to grapple with has been industrial safety and road safety. And I think we have a big chunk now sitting in terms of EV usage safety or EV maintenance safety while we are maintaining these vehicles or while we are using these vehicles. And I would want to end with a personal experience of last summer. I had called in for an electric vehicle cab. I live in Delhi. We get these services of one of the major players. The vehicle came to my home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was this hot Sunday afternoon in the month of June or July last year. And when I got into the vehicle refused to start. So the driver said, "Sab, chinta mat karo, abhi start ho jayega." So he got down from the vehicle and he started opening the bonnet with a bottle of water. And I had to literally run after him and I said, "Boss, ye electric vehicle hai. Don't put water," because they've been used to putting water into the radiator when the vehicle heats up and it refuses to start. So it needs to go down to that level of safety, and electric vehicle safety, when we talk about buses, when we talk about public transportation, which carries passenger, which carries goods, last mile delivery, lot of adoption is happening. We need to be very clear about the safety issues there. And we are doing some programs, thanks to MHI and GIZ, our partners, on electric bus safety that we have already launched across multiple cities. And we look forward to scale this up as we go forward in partnership with other OEMs and everyone else. Thank you very much for inviting me here today.